What's up, Jay? Today I'm doing the YouTube survey 2013 because, well, you tagged me. Diving right on in, what is your biggest fear? Well, that's definitely a hard one for me. It's probably coming down to two different things. So I have this really clear vision and idea for how my life and career play out over a long period of time. And I guess probably one of my greatest fears would be that that would not actually be achieved, especially considering the way that I'm going about it right now, what with being self-employed and all, and wiping algae on a daily basis. And then there's always sandwich spreads. How did you find out Santa isn't real? Terrific question! I didn't. I don't actually remember how I found out. I just remember thinking it was so ridiculous that no one had ever actually followed through with planting a video camera in the Christmas tree and just letting it run all night. As a kid, that was the confirming factor for me. I was like, dude, if it was real, someone would have done that. Of course, our dad was charging the camera so that he could film us opening presents the next morning, so for us, that was never an option. What is the best idea you've ever had? This was actually a really hard one to answer because I kept going to best decision I've ever made, and decisions aren't really ideas. But my best idea would have to be a secret, of course, because the only way I would consider something my best idea is if I felt like I could turn it into a profitable business. How about the idea of looking at money not as a means of buying things, but actually as a score of your professional success? I don't want money to buy stupidly extravagant things. I just want to set a really high score. And to Jacob Golden, one of my all-time favorite commenters, I'm sure that this wasn't actually my idea, but I'm going with it anyway. Most embarrassing thing your parents have ever done. I definitely can't count out the numerous life events that our dad captured on camera, but I think the worst had to be my senior year of high school. I was my entire school's dive team, and I was incredibly bad. All of the other guys I was competing against were like male cheerleaders or gymnasts and had all sorts of like tumbling experience. I just like to jump off of cliffs into water.
Here you go.
Still not really sure how I ever thought that would translate to success. But after our regional meet, I had to watch as my dad interviewed my dive coach trying to pull out some positive sound bites about my previous 6 glorified belly flops for next year's year in Carlin. If you're only allowed to pick one career for the rest of your life, what would it be? This is definitely a tricky question for me because what I'm doing right now is something that I love to do and something that I do for fun as a hobby on my off days. But what I would ultimately love to do is become an entrepreneur, which I know is kind of a cop-out response to this question because under that umbrella I could pretty much do just about anything. But it's kind of exactly what I love about working with aquariums. I get to work with a system where lots of little components work towards a greater whole. Problem solving and using creativity to innovate and find solutions to problems you never even knew could exist. And Jay, there you go. That's YouTube Survey 2013. Thanks for tagging me. It was so cool to actually get to do this one. So now I'd like to go ahead and tag 2 of my favorite vloggers to do the survey next, and that is Panickin and Foot of a Ferret. So Ann and Ryder, you're up. And also for my question of the day, what do you guys think about the idea of looking at money as a score as opposed to a means of buying things, especially beyond just the necessity? Is it more evil, less evil, still evil because it suggests income beyond necessity? Leave it in the towel section down below. And Jay, that is everything that I've got for you today, man. I will see you on Tuesday. Well, that settles that. Totally gonna have a beard.